Hey guys, you're watching Team Starcraft. My name is Joe Starcraft, and this is my cast. Today is Monday, and on Mondays I cast. I go into my replay library and I choose the one that is actually quite entertaining, and try to bring you guys a pretty good game. So today we were off against a TZ pre-made team, I believe, and his name is Terran. His name is Ying. And we have our blue Zerg and nPie. And these guys are actually ranked top 25, I believe, in North America in the pre-made teams, in Master League. So these guys are quite good. And at the same time, my partner and I actually checked our rankings in I believe it's Starcraft 2 or SC2ranks.com or something like that. And we are ranked in the top 5 percentile or top 10 percentile perhaps of pre-made 2-on-2 master teams, so master league team. And what that means is we are ranked maybe top 30 or top 35 or top 40 teams in North America. So feels good, but at the same time we want to improve. We want to try and get into top 20 in the next season, because next season we have season 3, yay! And then season 3, I believe there's more PT friendly maps out there, so that if you take a look at the ranking, in the top 50 or top 30, you only have around 6 to 7 PT teams. That says something, guys. That just says something. So, actually great. It's actually a great feeling that my partner and I are actually included in that group of good players. And hopefully, the other thing that I want to do is my partner and I want to get into one-on-one Grandmaster League. And obviously, this is going to be quite a big feat because I'm actually ranked currently in Master, but even though I'm undefeated, and a lot of times I use that undefeatedness to stroke my own ego and stroke my fragile ego. But if you have actually looked at my profile, my record is 1 and 0. So what that means is I'm undefeated. I could go boast at my nerd friends and say, "Oh, look, I went season 2 and I was undefeated. That's great." But it does not really say much about my skill level. So my partner says, "Oh yeah, you could be a Master League player," but I haven't really proved it yet. So next season I want to prove that I am a Master League player, and I want to be ranked higher, or even in Grandmaster, get into Grandmaster. So that'll be a very good thing to do. So that's my goal for season 3. Try to rank higher in. Basically try to get into first in our division, and our division has been quite competitive because right now we are at second, and this double Terran team is maybe 20 points, 30 points behind. Like we're behind this double Terran team by 20 to 30 points. That's actually that would be nice. So if you could overtake it before the season ends, so try to sneak it in there or something. So let's take a look at what Zerg's doing, and this Zerg he decided to go 14 pool into an expansion after he upgraded his metabolic boost. And I'm having a hard time speaking today because I actually casted this game 2 more times before, but what happened was there's some technical difficulties and it made me really mad. I almost smashed my mouse. This is not that great. So we have our SCV moving out, and he is building a bunker for any possible PT cheese plays. And what 14 pool allows the Zerg to do is that he could allow safety without any form of harass. So let's take a look at our Terran player, and this Terran player has started his factory, and he's actually started on his siege mode upgrade. And what is different from my build from his build is that I actually decided to go a refinery way earlier, second refinery way earlier than he did, which is around right after the barracks. And what that allows me to do is build a starport, or build a second factory, or build a barracks with tech lab with stimpack upgrading. So what that means is that the second gas allows me a lot of freedom in terms of tech choices, especially if you're walling off, and especially when you know that you cannot outmass Zerg early game. This is an option for us, and we should always try to go for higher tech units. So that's, and that's what I have been actually doing, and that's how I have been refining my own build. So we have a Banshee coming out. And this Banshee, I am not going to be upgrading Cloak because Cloak is going to be a waste of money and gas at the moment, because I'm actually trying to build up a sufficient siege tank army so that we could push out on time. So what this Banshee allows us to do is trying to gain, because PT have a very immobile army, especially when you're going a siege tank build. So this actually allows some mobility. At the same time, it gives some sort of a harassed play, and it could also go to trying to get a good scout into one of the partners. So we have a Banshee that actually popped out, and this Banshee is going to get scouted by this Overlord, but I don't think the Zerg has much to defend against this single Banshee, because I think he only has one queen. And this one queen, and the other thing I was trying to exploit as using the Banshee is the lack of anti-air for Zerg early game, other than Spore. And static defense is great, but it forces you to make the Zerg waste precious minerals and drones into building a Spore colony. So this one Banshee will actually do a lot, and I never realized this, but this Banshee lady has giant armor boobs, and look at this, it's huge mungus. But anyways, and I never realized that Banshee's actually a girl until like I heard the girl's voice when I first played it, so I was kind of going like, wow, okay, they actually gonna use female pilots now. So it's actually great because dropships were like only flying unit females that are out there, right, in Starcraft 1. So and then medics, like typical like gender role thing business going on. And if you guys don't know what gender role is, basically, you know, it's a thing about how women should be doing womanly things, like, you know, heal. So, but I mean, you know, it's nice for Blizzard to use something female offensive unit. So that's a little bit of my university education kind of spilling over into Starcraft, and we have a we're actually ready to move out, and these Banshees are going to get included while I expand. And we have around 4 tanks, couple of Marines with stim pack, and 2 barracks, accompanied by 3 repair SCVs. So these repair SCVs will be repairing both siege tanks and stalkers and immortals, and we have 4 or 5 immortals that are just setting up outside Blue's expansion. And what we hope to do is to gain some sort of a leverage or any form of pressure play so that they lose out some of the units and we could, you know, get some free kills. But the Zerg is well prepared. He does have a lot of roaches, and we have siege tanks just, you know, hitting away behind the Roach army, and we do not gain much out of it. And this Viking is just picking off these Banshees one by one, and we realize that this is not going to do much. And we need to fall behind. We need to fall back. And we have these 3 tanks who has actually managed to gain around 20 kills or 15 kills together. But we did lose out our 3 immortals, a lot of 4 or 5 stalkers. So we are falling back. But my partner has already decided to expand a long time ago while we went out for an attack. And he has his nexus completed, and I should have my orbital command completed with my you know, very trendy barracks and starport switcheroo, so I could actually start on my stim pack. So we have this little skirmish going on. These lings, they do not have sufficient amount of lings to actually take out the stalker army, stalker immortal army. So these lings decide not to come any closer to the stalker stalker immortal, and this marine just gets picked off just like that. And these, a third of the lings just get, you know, bombarded by 4 siege tanks. I believe these 4 siege tanks got like around 2 kills each. So we have our expansions starting to get saturated now, and this Terran has already started on his expansion. I believe that he could have started on it much earlier, but you know, he wanted to be safe because he realized that we are going to be pushing out with a higher tech build. And so, but this also allows them, since we failed our initial push, it allows them to take over the Xel'Naga Tower, and this Xel'Naga Tower will give them extra vision without using a Viking or a medevac, so that these siege tanks will have maximum vision and maximum range. So we have our there was a Banshee harass going on. I'm so sorry I missed this, and this is my own damn game. I can't believe I missed it. You know what? You know what's so funny? Because I casted this, I had to recast this before, and I totally missed out on that Banshee play, and I missed out again. And it's totally pathetic. It's making me mad. So today has not been a very good casting day. But I believe, to my memory, those 3 Banshees have managed to take out the Spire, to slow down the Spire. But the blue Zerg has actually has rebuilt the Spire. It's almost done. But my partner, over many games of playing against TZ, has already learned to build Phoenixes in this situation. So we have a couple of Phoenixes that are being built right now, and they did scout out these Phoenixes. So they're not. I don't think the Mutas will be going straight to our bases because they have to be careful. Phoenixes are actually faster than Mutas, and since they're faster, they're going to be chasing them, and they could hit while they move, and that's also the dangerous part. They're faster than Mutas, and they could hit while they move. So those Mutas cannot extend very far into our base. And while this is going on, these Vikings are giving extra vision, and these siege tanks are bombarding away at these refineries. And this is one of the I think this map needs to be fixed in that way, because these refineries are so easily abusable, and we cannot do anything about it. We'll be losing a lot of units before we actually are able to clear out these units. And finally we have around a group of Mutalisks coming in, 11 Mutalisks. They're coming in trying to gain some SCV kills, and they get 1 kill and 2 kill on the siege tank. And I finally decide, oh man, this is too much, and I'm running away, and I lose around 5 SCVs. But the Phoenixes come on time. Phoenixes hit and run business. And Mutas go, oh man, I can't fight these Phoenixes because they're too fast, and they hit you while they move around. So these Mutas are contained within the siege tank radius and the Viking radius, so the Vikings could support them in case the Phoenixes overextend into this little empty area here. And these Marauders are going, ah my god, I'm gonna die, and some of them did die, and I shouldn't be moving Marauders into there, but I apparently did. So these Mutas are actually being contained, and a lot of times what the purpose of the Mutas are to try to harass the opponents so that they could try to gain an expansion, which blue is doing right now in the bottom left corner, or try to pick off any tech buildings, supply depots, SCVs, and create mass confusion in the opponent's base. And especially against PT, when we do not have a lot of mobility except these Phoenixes, they could cause a lot of damage. But thank goodness my partner has built 4 Phoenixes, and these 4 Phoenixes are actually driving around 11 Mutas away. And this is quite interesting because this actually allows for hit and run plays. It's just it's baffling because a lot of times Mutas will overtake a lot of units. So this is actually a Starcraft 2 edition that I could actually live with. But I do miss Corsairs though. Corsairs used to do so much damage against Mutas when the Mutas bugged, and then they clump up into one space and they just die all at once. That was the greatest feeling ever. But anyways, we have these Phoenixes trying to clear out these Vikings so that they do not have vision over the refinery over here. And while this is going on, we have a couple of Mutas coming in from the bottom trying to pick off some of the workers here. But I believe that he does manage to pull out these workers. While this is happening, we have 4 dropships full of units, except maybe 2 more spots. And these units are dropped down to the Terran's expansion. And these SCVs should be running away, but they're sticking around to be trying to be obstacles for these units. But these SCVs decide to go back to mining, and they're trying to fight these giant clump of Marine Marauders, and they just completely die off. And if you take a look at the SCV count at the moment, if you just take a look at the units, the Terran only has 14 SCVs. This has been a very good drop, and this has been it's actually worth it. Even if I lose all of these units, it has been worth it. So I'm trying to go into the Zerg's base, trying to gain as much as possible. And this, I have to resort to these kind of plays, is because we are locked in. We are locked in within our we cannot extend beyond our chokes. We are beyond our secondary chokes. And this is the only way for us to gain some sort of a upper advantage, by dropping their main bases with giant armies, so that they have to fall back and they have to move back to defend them. So these Marauders have already gained so much, and one thing I want to say is that if I could save these medevacs, I should have saved these medevacs, because these medevacs would have done wonders. And finally, as the Marauders being cleaned out, they managed to take off 1 more siege tank before they die.